Hey guys, I am doing a review on Batman and Red Hood issue 20 of the series Batman and Robin with just a different title. I bought this for $2.99 at my local comic book shop. Wicked cool cover, by the way. And it says on the cover, "Shattered by Rage." Wee wee. I don't know what that was. It is really late at night / early in the morning, like I've been filming most of my reviews lately because I'm weird. And so that could explain some of my hyperactive personality moving forward. Okay, so as always, the first part of this review will be 110% spoiler free. And I'll warn you guys and give you guys a chance to X out before I spoil anything. So yes, let us get into this because we have a lot to talk about with this controversial issue. So overall opinion, I've read so many mixed reviews on this. Most people are just, like me, they're kind of upset in the direction that this took. See my directional hand. So, it's one of those things where something's going in one direction and you're gonna go one way, but then it, does this huge, turn and flips upside down and flies into space, and you're like, I was not expecting that. And that's what this comic did. It flew into space and away from my hopes and dreams. No, that doesn't mean it's not well written. It just means I'm kind of bummed about some stuff that happens in this comic, but I still believe it is worth picking up because it's worth picking up just to see what's going on, because you won't understand, because like I said, it took a doom whoop. It did that with the direction I thought it was going to go in. After, you could kind of see it was going to go here, and I was kind of prepared after the last Red Hood and the Outlaws issue. You knew something happened, and this comic explains what happened. But I was really hoping with the Red Hood comic that came out before the last Red Hood comic that came out, I believe that's the one, there was hope in my heart for something else that was going to happen, and it didn't. So yeah, that's my overall confusing opinion. That I can explain more of what I mean when I get into the issue more and can talk about it more. I might not be making a lot of sense right now, but I do think it's worth picking up just to see what happens. I'm a little, some of the ways a character is represented in this I didn't like, but I can understand it. I just feel like sometimes, I don't know. I'm gonna get into the spoiler zone now, so I will give you guys a chance to X out overall opinion. I think it's worth picking up. I'm just kind of saddened by the direction it went in. So yeah, I'll give you guys a chance to X out if you don't want any spoilers. So yeah. And that should be long enough. So let us open up the comic. And once again, another promotional thing for Arrow, which I was told I need to see. So, in case you guys are curious, this has Carrie Kelly in it. By the way, I'm going to try not to spoil everything, but I'm pretty much spoiling a lot of the issue because I don't see how I can get around certain things. So, I'm trying to make my reviews more brief because I always talk my head off. Not literally, but yeah, so it has Carrie Kelly come over. She starts playing on the piano. She looks at all the family pictures, and she asks where Damien is. Bruce says Damien is studying abroad. Carrie Kelly suspects he sent Damien away because he might collide with the bachelor lifestyle. She gives him back the extra money he gave her at the end of the last Batman and Red Robin comic. And then she goes and pays special attention to the family dog. And Bruce is acting kind of rough towards her. He doesn't really, you can tell he does not want her there, and says that, good day, Miss Kelly, Alfred can show you to the door. And Carrie Kelly, I do like her, and I love her sense of style. Kind of kudos to the artwork in this, because seriously, I want her outfit. I need to go shopping and find her outfit. Let me see if I can, is there a good shot of it? Because, you mainly see it in parts or whatever, but I don't know. I thought it was, so, that's kind of the shot. I want every single article of clothing. But yes, so Alfred actually offers her a job instead of just showing her the door, taking care of the dog. And she says absolutely she'd love to help take care of him until Damien gets back, and says, what about Mr. Grumpy, meaning Bruce? And Alfred says, don't worry about him. His bark is worse than his bite. Which is kind of true, but he can also bite pretty hard. And then later it shows Jason looking at the Red Hood mask Damien stole from him a while back, and he asks Bruce if Damien ever told him how he stole this from him. Bruce said yes, in fact he did, and he asks that Jason leave everything that's in the room the same as it was, and he wants to leave everything the same, which actually, kudos to that, like, type of direction, because that's actually, like, I've mentioned this a few times, my sister has SMA type 1, and it's terminal currently. They're still looking for a cure. So in the SMA community, some people, we've known a lot of people very, very sadly that have lost their children to SMA. And I know a few people in particular have left the rooms exactly as they were. Like, not even a toy is, like, messed up or moved even half an inch. Like, they're that exact about it. So, but then there are other people who want to change everything because they don't want to exactly have, like, horrible reminders everywhere of, like, what ended up happening. But I thought it was a very interesting direction to go in. And then Bruce asks Jason to stay for a moment and asks Jason to go help him take out the people who put a $500 million bounty on Damien. And he says, I think it's time to show them that targeting a 10-year-old puts a bullseye on themselves and that killing isn't much of a living. Jason asks, you asking me to go with you? Bruce says, yes, I am. Jason asks why, and Bruce says, because he's seeing red. And, oh, they didn't put a $500,000 bounty on his head. I said that wrong. Talia put the $500 million bounty on Damien's head, and they went to kill him for the money. Bruce and Jason show up, and this happens, and they actually have a really nice talk while taking out tons of people. They have a really nice talk, because that's how the Batman family comics worked. And Jason says, thanks for bringing them. It's just what the doctor ordered. And he thanks Bruce for being there while after the whole Joker incident. Bruce says pretty much that they're family. They're always going to be there for each other no matter what. And so then they leave, and Bruce takes Jason to the place where Jason was killed, and Jason says, you lied to me. This wasn't about taking down them. You wanted to bring me here to the worst place in the world, and here I was starting to believe all your crap about trust and faith. And Bruce says, those killers were the mission, but this was something else, something I couldn't ignore. I thought bringing you here could jog your memory, maybe retrieve a detail buried deep inside your subconscious that could help piece together how you came back to life. And Jason completes, could apply it to bring back Damien. Yeah, I get it. Did it ever occur to you I might like keeping whatever happened buried deep? And they get into a huge fight. And they're pretty much yelling at each other. Bruce says he brought him here because he wants to see Damien grow up. And Jason says, yeah, and what about me? How about the gift of not knowing that Joker manipulated my entire life? The clown tainted everything, the good, the bad. My life's even tainted by you. And Bruce says Jason knows that it's not true. And Jason says, no, then why are you making me stand at the exact spot he beat me to death? And Batman says, because I want to watch Damien grow up. And he says, Damien earned that right. And he says, and I want it to give it to him. And Jason says he has nothing to give. And he asks Bruce to take off his mask because he wants to see his face while he beats him. Silly, but Bruce takes off the mask and says to come at him, to attack him with all he's got and to hit him with all he's got. And Jason starts doing just that, but Bruce simply says, I'm still standing, Jason. And Jason says he's taking the car, goodbye. And then it ends with flipping a coin. Wonder what that's alluding to. No. But yeah, so that's the comic. And what I mean by it took a different direction than what I was expecting is because you expect, like, Bruce and Jason are going to come together and kind of be a team again, kind of after the events that happened a few Red Hood comics back. And that's what I was really excited about, because it has been a while since they've worked together, since they've gotten along at all. So I was really excited to see how that dynamic would work, since Bruce is kind of, his whole family's pretty much really mad at him except Alfred. Alfred's like one of his friends, and then according to the recent Batman comics, Superman's also there for him. But he kind of ostracized Tim Drake, and Nightwing, I believe, is mad. He left town for a different reason. But then you see in a detective comic, the Detective Comic 19, you see Batgirl and Nightwing are mad and don't respond when Bruce calls them asking for help with something. And so he's kind of a bit alone, and this comic was a bit of he shouldn't have done what he did, and that was the huge thing that came out online, was just he came off like a complete jerk. And you know, it was a different direction than I thought. I should have expected. I knew when the most recent Red Hood comic came out, I'm like, okay, he did something that really upset Jason, if you know the events of the recent Red Hood, which I also have a review on. But no, that's not the most recent Red Hood, actually, because another one came out when I'm filming this on Wednesday. Technically Thursday, actually, but yeah, I need to pick up the newest Red Hood. I believe it came out yesterday. How does this work? Yeah, so need to see what happens in that, but it explains, because it even says you need to pick up this to understand what happens in that. So I still think it's worth picking up, because you get Carrie Kelly too, and you get you see where things are going. I kind of wish this had gone in a happier-go-lucky thing, but that hasn't been happening in any show or comic book I like recently. I just want hugs. That's all I want. And I'm never given them. No. Yeah, so I do recommend picking this up just because it is interesting. It shows you the mindset. It shows what direction things are going in. You need it to understand the recent events of the Red Hood happening. So that is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah. So I have more videos coming out. I need to pick up the most recent comics. No, I say this in every video. I have been so ill. I was planning to film this like 4 days ago, and I haven't gone to I've been out straight in those 4 days, so I was feeling enough energy to do this right now, so that's what I'm doing. And I have a series I'm thinking of putting out. It's kind of like a comic book thing where it explains certain things. It's a long story, but I might be doing that series, so yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys have a terrific day, and that you enjoyed all the comics you have picked up. And yeah, so tell me what you thought of this comic down in the comments, and I'd love to hear your opinion. I love hearing different opinions on comics. Even if I dislike a comic and someone says that they liked it and why, I still find it very interesting to kind of learn why they liked it. So yeah, do that. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Have a terrific day.